So you know all what's going on in Miami. What's new about the Miami art scene? Because the context is different now. Trump is coming back. Florida voted massively for him. And there's a contrast with the opinion of the artist. So during this week, special week, what's your analyze?
I think that the two really don't have anything to do with each other. Um, there's a real cultural dimension to Miami, and I don't see that changing at all. And I don't think it's really that much about politics. Sometimes art merges with politics, and I actually think that's a mistake, because it should really be about like the art and the creative expression, and politics can get very petty and polarized, and art is a way of bringing people together, to having them neurologically grow from seeing things and get inspired and feel good, and also to think differently.
Yeah, but it's also about, this week is also about the art market, right?
Yes, there's a dimension about the art market, but the art market is fundamentally part of the art world. And to act like they're not associated, I think, is a mistake. You can see how art is much less relevant in places where there isn't an art market. Like during communism, art in communist countries wasn't as important. And when you have a commercial side that also creates economic value, it just becomes part of the overall system that gets people to focus, pay attention. Of course, it's not the only thing. It's important also to focus on the museums and the statements museums make, and also the people who are experts, the connoisseurs, the critics. So the art world is a combination of all these things, but to make it as if the market isn't a fundamental part of that, I think, is a mistake.
Exactly. That's why I asked you the question, because there's kind of contrast between, on one side, the buyers, who obviously feel secured by the election of Trump, and the artists who don't feel secured at all, and yes, some of the communities.
Yeah, I don't, at least in my world, I don't see that. I think that there are collectors who were in favor of Trump, and there are collectors who weren't in favor of Trump. And, the United States is a democracy. Whether we wanted him to win or we didn't want him to win, our country has spoken, and now that's something that we have to accept and embrace. That's part of what democracy is. And so I also don't think that, like, this administration necessarily materially affects the artists. I mean, on one hand, some people say the economy will get better. If the economy gets better and more people are buying art, that will help the artists. It's not to say that there are people that don't care about money or don't prioritize money over other things that are important, and so they don't like it. But I really don't think I think, like, this election, we have to see how it unfolds, and it's more interesting to see, like, how things work out now, and the impact it has on our country and the world. And like at the end of any election, when decisions are made, then history will be made, and we'll see what happens.
And so what do you expect from this 24 Art Basel Miami?
There seems to be great energy. There was a lot of concern in general in the market, and you could see how people were like concerned, and things had slowed down. And really, I think Paris was a catalyst to lifting the spirit in the commercial side of the art world. I think it had a really, really good impact.
Interesting.
And then
for once, we are good.
And Paris is always good. I love Paris. But it was like a great moment. And Art Basel in Paris, it's something new. Paris is such an amazing city, and when you integrate the Art Basel experience, I mean, the traveling, the seeing the whole art world in the same place at the same time, and then that it's Paris, it's great. And now, we're in the United States and in Miami, and so I feel there's like positive momentum, and I'm looking forward to seeing, how it all goes. And there's definitely gonna be some great art in the fair. We're also excited here because every year for Art Basel we do a exhibition of my collection, and we inaugurated it yesterday. It's fun for me. It's a beautiful way to live and work when you just can walk around all day and look at interesting art.
Merci, monsieur.